Muslims have been asked to employ violence to go around the world and subjugate people who disagreed with them in religion. Is he saying Manchester Arena bombing is good or evil? Because Manchester Arena bombing happened according to Surah At-Tawbah and Surah Al-Anfal and Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Muhammad and all sorts of other surahs across the Quran. Look at him waging jihad right now. Look at the clown, coward clown, waging jihad right now by pushing my friends.
That is where
Can
it's
I-
done for me.
Oh, wow, wow.
Go to that level.
Wow. This is called detail, facts. He's disturbing me right now. He's disturbing me right now. I'll give you context. I will give you context.
No, it's over. Sorry.
When I saw Muhammad what? All right, so the Abdullah runs away. Look at him run away.
We ready?
Now, one second, brother. Sorry, let's do a stopwatch. Is it? No. Sorry, no. Let's do a timer. Sorry.
Okay, time.
Yep.
How many minutes?
2 minutes each. Yeah, 2 minutes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Ready?
Go.
Start.
Bismillah.
Yeah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Go for it.
No, you go.
Oh,
ahead.
okay. You want me to go? That's fine. Good. So, is jihad bad or good? So let us define what jihad is. The jihad in which the gentleman here is referring to is an act of war. Now, according to the Bible and according to the Quran, God has a history of legislating holy war. A Christian cannot tell me that he's honest and he's consistent and he doesn't like jihad, but the same jihad is mentioned in his scriptures. That's a contradiction and it proves he's insincere, deceitful, and lying. Now, if we look at God now, God sent to Moses laws of punishment, a life for a life. God sent to Moses punishment, capital punishment. God in both the Quran and the Bible legislated capital punishment of men, women, children, cattle, even cattle. So according to the scriptures, according to the Torah and all scriptures, you can even take the life of the cattle if the cattle was to commit a crime or an offense. So God has always killed. Now, if we look at David and Goliath, David slew Goliath because Goliath was a tyrant. So God have always used violence. God is the one who created volcanoes. God is the one who created lava, hurricane, storm. Now, if you look at Moses, when the children of Israel were disobedient to God, what did God send to them? He sent upon them plagues, punishing them. The firstborn of every living thing, their life was taken in the same Bible. So do not tell me jihad is wrong in context against tyranny, sin, and disobedience against God, but in your very scriptures, God initiated, He legislated a history of holy wars.
Jihad is mentioned around 30 times in reference to Muslims practicing it in the Quran. Across all 30 times, the references are in relation to some very important practice that is given to the Muslims. Very simple. Muslims have been asked to employ violence to go around the world and subjugate people who disagreed with them in religion. If you notice carefully, there are a few points in order. Number one, it is physical violence. Number two, practiced by not a supernatural force, but by regular human beings. Number two. Number three, to be employed when there is religious disagreement. Can you imagine me today taking up arms, going around the world using my arms to force everyone to become Christian across the world, even when you disagree? Use violence to do that. Where do we see this? We see this in Surah Al-Anfal, ayat 72, 73. Those who believed and left their homes and jihaded with their wealth and their lives for the cause of Allah. What is the cause of Allah? We find that all over the Quran, which is for the entire world to become Islamic. Now, Can you imagine, my dear friends, someone coming with a sword or something and forcing you to agree to something which you don't have an agreement with? That is jihad. He's only no good. The only excuse he has is that apparently God of the Bible did that. I would like for him to show one instance where God of the Bible forced someone to believe in him when they did not want to believe in him in the world, across the world.
You look like him. Okay, right. You look like him. So, first of all, sister, how are you doing? You're right. Good, good. First of all,
I think he's Jamaican.
we were talking about jihad, and I made a statement that the jihad he is referring to is in reference to wars. Now, he is making the claim that the Quran mentioned jihad specifically in regards to wars. Now, the Quran uses the word jihad not always specifically in relation to wars. It also makes the reference of jihad in against yourself. As Allah says, وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِأَمْوَالِكُم.
But he's not talking about that one. He's talking about the one.
Are you part of the conversation?
Don't know what I'm saying.
You part of the conversation?
Sorry, don't.
Are you
that's fine.
part of the conversation? Do you want to get in part of the conversation?
No problem. We'll pause the time.
Again,
We'll
I
pause
would
the
say-
time. We'll pause the time. We're Christians. We pause the time.
If it was possible, then why would God give anyone a choice?
Please. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We'll discuss. Sorry, one second. Yeah, please go. No, one second.
I heard you when you said it multiple times.
Abdullah, I'm here. Please. This is Speaker's Corner. Please
Say
stay
it again.
focused.
One
Please. He paused the time.
Okay. thank
Pause
you.
the time. You can start again. Yes,
Right.
sir.
So, my input, you ready? Yeah. So, my input is saying here, according to the Quran, jihad also means to strive hard against yourself. And every time you see jihad in the Quran, it doesn't mean specifically wars. However, the gentleman is making reference to jihad in reference to wars. So, what is this jihad in reference to wars? The jihad in this reference to wars have to do with the same Sharia, the same law applied to Moses. God gave Moses laws, and in those laws have punishments. Those laws have rights, and according to Islam, jihad is applicable in which there are major tyranny, oppression, and wars against God. So God gave rights to fight against evil and oppression. Jihad is not senseless killing, as the gentleman would like to say. Jihad is not godless. It is not godless, as jihad goes right back to Moses and beyond. And the same jihad of righteousness, you see that same jihad expressed in the life of David and Goliath. And as I said that before. Good. I'll bring jihad from the Bible.
The typical gaslighting Muslim who follows a typical gaslighting Islam does the typical gaslighting act at Speaker's Corner. He wants to whitewash everything. He uses the term war. Think about Manchester Arena bombings. He would like to call them war. Think about the Jewish people who are being still stabbed across our nation, in the streets of our nation. He wants to call that a war. Can you imagine the level of nonsense going on here? My dear friend, he is trying to justify jihad by going back to Moses. My dear friends, one good important point. Find one example where God of the Bible gave an instruction to Moses and said, hey, look, go convert everyone outside of Israel to come and worship me, and if they refuse to, go kill. Find one instance. Somehow he is hiding behind a whitewashed story, nonsense, by hanging on to precious Moses, marvelous Moses. Moses is not Muhammad, my dear friends. Speak about what Muhammad taught. What is jihad according to the Quran? It wasn't a law, it was an expansionary tactic that was given to people who did not agree to it. Jihad was instructed to be practiced by Muslims, violence to be employed going across the world to take over the world for Islam. Did Moses do this?
No.
Did Moses go around the world to take over the world for Judaism? What is the level of brain damage am I dealing with here? This guy is a typical gaslighter. Jihad of Islam is on religious grounds, physical violence against people who refuse to take up Islam. Admit to it that it is straightforward evil.
This is a lie, Tony. This is a lie. You know why?
Thank you. I'm not interested, sir.
No.
Thank you.
because you have to prove it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have to prove it.
Yeah, but
I'm not.
there's a difference.
Prove it.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
If you are saying
The gentleman.
So
prove it.
Please. If you want a separate debate, there's plenty of space there. Please. Thank you. We can move on. Thank you.
Lies.
Don't wait jihad here, sir. Please. If you move there,
When you say something,
wait jihad somewhere else. Thank you.
because otherwise anyone come here and say lies.
Whoa. Don't be angry,
Very
sir.
easy.
Plenty of jihad is already. We don't need one more. Please move away, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
It's okay.
Ready?
Now, when we debating, or we having these conversations, we have these conversations to give God the glory and to put truth forward. Now, this gentleman made a claim saying that I was in support of some jihad against Jews, or I'm implying that. I never said that, and that's wrong. We were talking about textual concepts of jihad. Textual means the Bible concept of holy wars and the Quran concept of holy wars. We made no references to contemporary issues, and any kind of wrongdoings done in the name of jihad, I reject that and I disconnect myself from that. But he trying to apply that to me, which I did not do. And that's unfair. That's untrue. That's unjust. That's evil. Now, I'm only here to say what God says. When God is the one who punished the wife of Lot by killing her, what crime did the wife of Lot did? God exterminated her life. That's violence. Again, if you can see in the flood of Noah, God punished man, woman, children, and cattle. God did that, not me. If you look again into the Bible, you will see God sent punishment in the plagues of Pharaoh. He sent 9 plagues to Pharaoh, severe punishment. So much so that diseases befell them, man, woman, and children. God initiated that. So my argument to the conversation is textual, has nothing to do with contemporary issues, have nothing to do with anybody who doing jihad in the name of Islam in a wrong way. I reject that. And to attribute that to me is wrong and is lies. Now, I am simply saying, from a biblical point of view and from a Quran point of view, God has initiated violence and punishment against sinners, disbelievers, and anybody who war against God. Go on.
Again, the only excuse that Abdullah has given. Let's get back to the topic. Is jihad good or evil? I haven't got an answer from him yet. Is he saying Manchester Arena bombing is good or evil? Because Manchester Arena bombing happened according to Surah At-Tawbah and Surah Al-Anfal and Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Muhammad and all sorts of other surahs across the Quran. For instance, Surah At-Tawbah, ayahs 38, 39 and 41. 41 says, go forth, light armed or heavy armed, and strive with your wealth, jihad with your wealth. So it is clearly talking about getting up arms and going and fighting. And some people who were sensible, unlike Abdullah, were upset. They said, why should we fight? So 38, 39 ayats. O ye who believe, Muslims, what aileth you, that when it is said to you, go forth in the way of Allah. Remember, see here carefully, Allah is provoking some Muslims to go somewhere and fight. No one fought against him, they were living happily, but he is provoking them to take up arms to go fight somewhere. So some sensible people clearly were unhappy. About them, Allah complains, take ye pleasure in the world rather than in the hereafter. Listen carefully. He is accusing them that they were comfortable with this world, meaning no one was coming to attack them. So jihad that is being described in Surah At-Tawbah was not a war in the way the gaslighting Abdullah is presenting. I don't know why he is lying. Well, I do know it's taqiyya in Islam. But what I like to find out is, does he agree that this jihad, which was there in the Quran, which is still practiced across the streets of our nation, he is willing to say, as practiced in the Quran, is evil. In contrast, when it comes to the Bible, show one place where God of the Bible asked anyone, including Moses or anyone else, to go around, kill, force someone to take up Judaism or Christianity for that matter, both. And if you don't kill them, find one place, he will struggle, sweat and run away.
Also, if I go and kill another
One
people,
second.
how many virgins will I have?
So one second.
Tell them, ask about the virgins.
Sure.
The virgins.
It's a time debate, please go ahead. Sorry, please. Once. Time debate, he's already failing. Please don't make him look. Please don't make him look successful. He's already failing, please. Yeah, thank you. 2 minutes.
Ask about the virgins.
Okay, so you raised some issues concerning verses of the Quran. Now, that's beautiful. That's quite nice. I like that. But what happens when these verses are mentioned? Every verse, whether it's mentioned in the Bible or mentioned in the Quran, there's rules of interpretation and there's contextualization to it. No Muslim in Speaker's Corner or no Muslim I have ever met denies jihad. We do not deny it. We accept it. There's no country in this world denies the right to fight or the right to have laws or the right to have an army. We do not deny jihad. What we do, we define it correctly, we contextualize it as the best and the only means and option towards justice. Jihad is to push away injustice and tyranny when all other processes has failed. So we don't deny it. And however, when it comes to the Quran now, and somebody quoting Quran to explain jihad, it has a lot to do with context. And it also have a lot to do with, there's a time in which Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, never fought. He was persecuted, he never fought. And God gave him permission to fight. No Muslim denies it. Saying we deny it or saying there is jihad in Islam. Yes, every Muslim agree jihad is in Islam. Like the whole world agree, every country in this world have an army. And they have laws. Islam is a complete way of life. It has an army, it have laws. It have conditions, it have context to everything. So we don't deny it. Trying to prove it exists, yes. Now, what is the purpose of jihad? I am a Muslim. I was a Christian. And I never become a Muslim because somebody fight me war. So he is trying to say, everybody who believe in Islam, come to Islam through his war. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean, way on the opposite side to Saudi Arabia. I am convicted to Islam, not through war, but through conviction, belief.
But can I ask you one question?
No.
One quick question.
please,
A very quick one.
No.
Please, my dear friend.
What you're
I said
saying
no and
is
you're still
true,
continuing.
Please.
I said no and you're still continuing.
But please.
right?
Are you
And-
well?
and if
You
what
well?
you're saying is
Can I
true,
please,
NHS is not
please,
giving people medication.
please,
See,
my-
all
my-
people
my
have
dear-
problems.
How come 1
Can you
million
control yourself?
Arabs can't kill 10
Please,
million
please,
Yeah, yeah,
please,
yeah.
please,
10
thank
million
you.
Jews?
Please, please. No,
The
please.
adults is having conversation here.
Please.
Adults is having conversation
Please.
here. Please.
Oh, time.
Yes, for adults.
So Abdullah, gaslighting Abdullah tells me jihad is a war waged in self-defense. And he says somehow understanding context will help me understand that. I'll give you context, my dear friends. Muhammad of the 7th century was the Osama bin Laden of today. Muhammad of the 7th century is the Boko Haram and his entourage.
That is very
Can I-
different for me.
Oh, wow, wow.
Let's go to that level.
Oh, can I, wow.
No.
This is called detail, facts.
No.
So he's disturbing me right now. He's disturbing me right now.
I'm just saying, on
I'll
this
give you
point, it was
context.
going good,
I
on
will
this
give
point
you.
it's over.
I will give you
When you start
context.
calling
I will.
Muhammad, no, it's over. Sorry.
When I call Muhammad what? All right. So the Abdullah runs away. Look at him run away.
Muhammad.
Look at him run
Yes, I
away
run.
because
Yes, I
he
run.
cannot
Yes,
defend
I
Muhammad.
run. Do you know why I run?
Muhammad is evil
Insults.
and he can't defend Muhammad and he runs away.
When you said
Running
that,
away
that's why
is
people
the
don't
only
have a
solution.
conversation
Could
with
I finish my 2 minutes?
That's why they don't want to have conversation.
Could I finish my 2 minutes?
Not with me.
You started started. Could I finish my 2
You
minutes?
said Muhammad
Could
is
I
evil,
finish my
and
2
we
minutes?
agree not to
Could I?
insult.
Could I?
You're here
I
to promote
could I finish?
religious
Could I
hatred.
finish my 2 minutes?
You're here to promote
Could I
religious
finish my 2
hatred.
minutes?
You're here to provoke
Could I finish
and
my 2
incite
minutes?
violence.
Could I finish my 2
When
minutes?
you incite violence,
Could I
that's when
finish?
you prove your
Could I?
concept
Could
of
I?
Islam.
Could I finish my?
You can finish as much as you like. That's why I'm
Abdullah
walking away from
agrees.
you. I'm walking away from
Abdullah agrees.
you. Yes, for the adults.
Speaking details about Muhammad is inciting violence. I completely agree. Muhammad, when you study his life carefully and in detail, you are getting to know a proper Osama bin Laden a gazillion times worse. I completely agree. But if that is what the facts are leading us to, let us better look at him waging jihad right now. Look at the clown, coward clown, waging jihad right now by pushing my friends. Jihad at Speaker's Corner. Is he trying to convince that Muhammad is a marvelous man? Or is he trying to employ physical violence? Look at them. Look at them. Clowns. Clowns. My dear friends, man, once, all of you have to carefully ask this question. My friend is standing here just behind me for my safety. If that clown, the 10-foot clown, Goliath clown, would come behind him and push him here at Speaker's Corner, what would he do in his own street in Birmingham, also known as Pakistan? What would happen? Can you imagine? And these fellows want us to think that jihad is some marvelous sweet that you can eat and enjoy the evening. My dear friends, jihad is proper physical violence that began in the 7th century in the name of this woeful, murderous death cult called Islam. According to Islam, there is no Islam without the evil jihad. Where do I get my ideas from? Where do I get my ideas from? Would you like to debate? Please come. Please come.